Welcome back to Bros Ball and Bologna. It's just like ESPN, except with better text and analysis. So first, let me introduce you to my bros. Below me, you've got Miles, our semi-pro golfer and our leader in shot tracing technology. Next to him, you have Pistachio. He is our Power 5 insider and the president of our Charlotte football fan club. Above him, you've got ZA, our six-figure money man who knows how to hit the ball 5 yards farther thanks to those brand new clubs. And then me, you've got the coach. I'm just here to control ZA when he gets off on some stupid quarterback comment. So we're going to get started with our show. We'll go back to last week, guys. We started with our own NBA all-time draft. Okay. So I'm going to go through, and I know it's been a week. So I'm going to go ahead and tell us our teams again, just to remind us. Okay. So ZA had the first pick. He had LeBron James, Magic Johnson, Reggie Miller, Dirk Nowitzki, Patrick Ewing, Pau Gasol, Klay Thompson, Julius Erving, and Karl Malone. Pistachio at pick number 2 took Michael Jordan, Tim Duncan, Dennis Rodman, Allen Iverson, Kevin Durant, Oscar Robertson, David Robinson, Larry Bird, and George Gervin. Miles had pick 3, Shaquille O'Neal, Steph Curry, Wilt Chamberlain, Kawhi Leonard, Chris Paul, Clyde Drexler, Luka Doncic, James Harden, and Anthony Davis. And then I had the 4th pick. I took Kobe Bryant, Scottie Pippen, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kevin Garnett, Tracy McGrady, Jason Kidd, Gary Payton, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and then ended with Dwayne Wade. So all those squads are pretty freaking good, right? So
they're real solid.
They're all solid. Me and Miles got together this weekend, played a little golf, and then got on the Xbox and put all those teams on one in the franchise. So ZA was the Lakers, I was the Suns in the West, and then Pistachio was the Bulls, and Miles was the Pistons in the East. So what we did was we probably should have simulated it for 5 straight years and did the contracts, but that was going to take way too much fucking time. So what we did was
just 5 seasons, five simulations took long enough.
Right. Yeah. So what we did was we created the rosters, simulated it to the end of the finals, shut it off, didn't save it, and did it 5 straight times. So I'm going to tell you the results from our simulation.
And also, remember, we did edit everybody's minutes to where their stars had better minutes, and you had bench players coming in, and we ended up trading away. We had bad players. We made our teams even more badass and gave us good backup. So our teams were super stacked.
But they didn't play because we made it where only the 9 people.
Yeah, we're only 9 people. Yeah.
So
but just in case somebody, got gassed, it would put them in.
Yeah. So you got 5 seasons. Phoenix Suns draft pick Kevin Garnett had 5 MVPs, all right, and 5 first-team All-Pros. The only consistent All-Pro on our rosters. Kind of surprising to me.
Blew my mind.
Pistachios, Michael Jordan, and my Scottie Pippen. 5 first-team All-Defenses. Only consistent first-team defenders. Scottie did have 2 Defensive Player of the Year, I think. The Lakers,
the
Lakers, LeBron James, the only player to average 20 points per game on our teams. That kind of blew my mind. Everyone averaged like 19 to 14.
But what we didn't do, when you could have changed it, was we never set it to where it was going to play through a star.
Right.
And if we would have set it to where it played through Shaq and Curry and Anthony Davis, they would have probably all averaged 20 points a game, just like if any of our other teams would have done that. But we just set it to no star, just play the team.
The only other thing, Monty Williams, the Suns coach, had 3 Coach of the Years, and Dwayne Casey for the Pistons had 2 Coach of the Years. All right, so Pistachio, your Bulls made the finals 1 time and lost it. ZA, your Lakers made the finals twice Lost them both. I made the finals. My sons made the finals 3 times. Won one of them. Kevin Garnett was the MVP. Miles, he didn't have a single. He had like 0 awards in the offseason, like no MVPs, nothing. He had four championships, swept me twice, and Shaq had 3 finals MVP. The craziest thing, though, Steph Curry had 1 finals MVP. He averaged 27 and shot 79% from 3. So,
damn right he did.
So either way, I was the decorated awardsman. Miles won the hardware, though.
Team built for championships, baby.
Built for
championships.
The Twin Towers.
And also built for 2K.
The Twin Towers dominated us for sure.
Oh yeah.
But either way, real NBA. Okay, let's talk about that real quick. The real NBA right now. The first thing I want to talk about, guys, is RJ Barrett. Okay, I want to kind of spotlight a few people, and then we can kind of talk about the season as a whole, where we're at. But RJ Barrett, I thought he was the best player on Duke's reloaded roster that year, to be honest. I thought it was him, Cam Reddish, then Zion, just straight up. Put up, 46 against ZA. I texted him, put him up against this Heat. I texted him, he had to tell me scoreboard. That don't matter.
Still lost, though.
At the time I texted that, he was blowing them up, and then he replied like 20 minutes later when he got it, and they were ahead. But either way, RJ Barrett, he had 46 and 9. He's been averaging 24 points per game since January. Shout out to him. He doesn't get a lot of credit, just, being in Zion's shadow and then being on a sucky Knicks team. I think he's going to be a star, to be honest with you. At some point, he's going to be a star. The second of the 3 spotlights I just want to bring up is James Harden. That was one of my hot takes, is he's going to put the Sixers back in the lead of the East. The dude's already had a triple-double in his first 2 games. It's scary watching him and Joel Embiid play. The beard is back, I think.
It's just what Joel Embiid said after that first game. He said, I've never felt so wide open before playing. When you got James Harden out there, and you got a replacement of a Ben Simmons who can't make a layup. He decides to pass out. But, come on. Joel Embiid has to feel awesome about this.
Yeah, he's pumped. 100% pumped. But out of all those, the third spotlight, hometown Murray State, Ja Morant. He is the most exciting player in basketball. He is the most fun to watch. The most explosive. Last night he put up 52. And what I love about it, guys, is he shot 4 threes. 4 threes, and he made 4 free throws, and he put up 52 points. 22 for 30, shot over 70%. But the plays he makes are amazing, and I'm going to throw up some highlights here. First, you've got the deep 3. Okay, so he's stepping back. He's in Steph Curry range, and if he adds that to his bag, he is the best point guard in the NBA. Okay, so then
he might already be.
Might already be, but now he goes from shooting threes to let's go to the halftime beater. Full length of the pass, hell of a pass, underrated, not going to get talked about, but he catches the ball, throws it before he hits the ground. Absolutely amazing athletic ability. And speaking of athletic ability, when he gets the ball in the open floor, he will dunk all over you. He almost ended Anthony Davis' career. And this dunk here is another absolutely just mind-blowing dunk for someone who was recruited because somebody ate some Doritos. So anybody else, NBA, what are we going to say about it?
I love Ja.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Absolutely. No, John Morant's amazing. I'd say he's probably, you still got Steph Curry to look for, but he's definitely one of the best point guards already in the league, if not the best, argument for real. Definitely more valuable because without him, that team would not be very good at all. So, and he's leading them to, possibly a 1 or 2 seed, depending on how they finish out, there in the West. So that's very, very, very real. Now, while we're talking about NBA, I do want to touch on that the Lakers are done. Season's over with. I was so confident in this that I actually had money on them missing the playoffs before the season even started. Once they took Westbrook and then they took Carmelo, and I doubled down at that point. So I've been saying this from before the season. They're old. They have no bench. Luckily, Malik Monk is there to save the day sometimes, and if LeBron wasn't there at all, it'd just be insane. So my hot take on the Lakers is they are done this year. They're not going to make the playoffs. I really, truly believe that. My money's where my mouth is on that one. And I really think that they are going to end up trading AD. They need to. They got to do a complete rebuild. And I think LeBron's going to set it up where in 2 years, little Bronny is coming out, baby. And he's coming to the Lakers. And he's going to play 1 season with his son at LA, and he's going to leave his son with some sort of rebuilded team in LA. Bam, legacy continues.
Hands
That's
up.
going to happen. Mark my words.
Hands up.
What year is his son? Is his son a senior in high school or what?
He's a junior this year, so he's got 2 years.
2 years. Miles, what's your take?
All right, yeah, I agree with ZA completely that the Lakers are done. But on the other part, nobody should even care about LeBron's kid. He's not even that good. I thought he was good until about a couple months ago. And then I was like, oh, well, there's not that many highlights about him. And then recently I saw the draft predictions. Even after college, they're saying he may be a second rounder. He's not very tall. He can't shoot that good. He's just LeBron's kid and athletic. Let's quit pretending that unless LeBron goes back to Cleveland, he's going to facilitate a trade to where his kid gets drafted to the Lakers. There's no way the Lakers would belittle themselves that much and be like, oh, we're going to suck and we'll get this shitty kid named James. There's no way. There's no way.
I agree. I think he's good. I don't think he's great. I mean, there's the Mikey Williams kid.
Who's recruiting him?
I don't. He's
nobody.
Bigs. Here's his issue though, is all these high school kids, instead of staying where he's at, it went to this big private school, and now instead of being the stud like everybody is used to, the freshman year, the sophomore year, you just keep getting better. He's got 4 or 5 pros on his roster, and all these high school kids are averaging like 12 points per game, and that's the next big deal, which I don't think I definitely don't think anyone's going to do that and trade around him. I think he's a lot better than MJ's kids, but
that's not even saying anything.
I know, but I'm saying he's still got time to grow, but I would definitely take DJ Wagner or whatever that kid over Bronny right now. Anybody else got NBA?
I don't know. The kid's he's got to grow. He's got to grow.
Oh yeah.
Size-wise, size, not skills.
Well,
size.
these super rich parents that their kids, like the Jordan kids, are saying, and we'll end it with this. Conor McGregor, he said, "Can I fight? Absolutely, but it's a lot harder to get hit in the face when you got $1 billion in the bank. It's a lot harder to wake up and grind hard when you got a trust fund for about $500 million." So
yeah.
So I think he's gonna be great now.
Hey. This maybe clipped onto the golf part. I'll argue that Tiger Woods' son.
True.
There may be $1 billion in the bank for that kid, but guess what? He's 12 years old and he'll whoop your ass.
What's his name, Miles? Charlie.
My dad's name. Charlie.
He's named after your dad.
Yeah, not after anybody famous. He's named after my dad. Tiger met my dad at the Masters in 2006 when he went to a practice round, and he named him after my dad because he loved him so much. It's a true story. I got pictures.
So obviously, man, LeBron James kid isn't that good. He's better than us. but he's got his daddy's name. You know, he didn't want to be number 23 because he didn't want people to know who he was. Like LeBron James Jr., number 0. Who the hell is that guy? Bet you his dad could play basketball pretty well. But going to LeBron James Jr.'s next step possibly is college. All right. So ZA is going to take us through and let's hear about college basketball this year.
Man, I got to say something. Today is March 1st and madness is here. Oh my gosh. And we were introduced greatly with an insane weekend of college basketball. I don't know if you guys were living underneath a rock with my guy Pistachio, but if you were alive in the world this past weekend, you would see that multiple records were broken for upsets. Upset City, it's already happening. Introduced us to March. So what happened, right? We had a record amount of top 10 teams get beat. It was 7 out of the top 10 got beat. It was the first time ever that's happened since the AP poll started. First time ever 1 through 6 got beat. And then, of course, good old Texas Tech got to jump in there at number 9 and lose as well to make the record of 7 upsets in one day, which is an absolute record. It's crazy. It's introduced us to March. So, but else is crazy about that is every other team that's ranked outside of the top 10 won that day. Another record, right? So all these things are happening. It's like the planets are aligning. Here we are. So we're getting ready to set our brackets, lose all kinds of money on bracketology and everything. Really want to kind of touch on that really quick. So as far as the biggest moves, you always see these huge jumps right around this time of the year, right? It's always with these teams that were maybe injury prone or they should be high and they're kind of low. And what I want to touch on is Baylor. Baylor was at number 10. And they jumped all the way from 10 to number 3 now after this weekend. Everybody else, you see Arizona and Gonzaga, they stayed number 1, number 2. But Baylor took that huge jump. Why is that? Well, obviously money, right? Because Baylor's going to bring in more money than, friggin' somebody else. But it's because the committee wants them to have that number 1 spot. So you see these huge jumps. You see it every year around this time. You see somebody jump from 10 to 2 or, 9 to 3 or 10 to 3, just like Baylor did right here. So as far as the tournament comes, I think we're going to have some pretty solid 1 seeds. Some I don't really agree with. I want to go ahead and say I believe Gonzaga is probably going to be the outright one. Why is that? Because they play in the worst conference in like college basketball. They only have St. Mary's as competition, and the committee just loves them for whatever reason. So they're going to get the number 1 overall because they're not going to lose. They're going to win their conference. So they're going to be the number 1 overall. Unfortunately, when it comes to tournament seeding, a little background on what the committee looks at. Not only do they look at the overall record, but they also look at what they call quads. And there's 4 different quads, and it's all about the competition they play. So the real quality ranked opponents are quad 1, and then as they go down 2, 3, and 4, right? So Gonzaga, they only have 6 quad 1 wins this year. Only 6. That's all they got. And they're still going to get that number 1 overall seed, which blows my mind. I believe the second one's going to be Baylor. Baylor is going to get a number 1 seed. I don't know where they're going to fall because they've had the toughest schedule of the year. And also they have 12 quality wins on top of that. So toughest schedule, 12 quality wins. They're going to get number 1 seed unless they just start losing out, which I don't see happening for the rest of the year. Now, after those 2, I'd say they're locks. The next ones are kind of confusing. This is college basketball this year. We really don't know who is going to win. Now, stats show there's all kinds of upsets week 1, week 2, but usually in the Final Four, you're going to see a 1, a 2, or 3, or 4 seed. You're not going to see any of these like 16s make it all the way to the Final Four or anything. So when it comes to the last 2, it really it's hard to look into. I believe Kansas is going to have their shot at it. Now they have 10 quality wins. When we talk about the quads, they got 10 in the quad 1, so they're actually the second most quality wins. So they have had a good season, but I really think they're on the bubble of going to a 2. And then also the last one is really hard. Now I've got Baylor, Gonzaga, Kansas. I believe the last one's really going to come down to some, the conference championships. I believe Arizona right now is the favorite to get the 4th number 1, unless they do play USC this week. So they can lose to USC and they can turn around and lose their conference as well. And I believe that's going to leave it open for somebody like a 2 seed, such as, I don't know, Kentucky or Auburn. I believe either one of them could win the SEC and still a 1 seed. I really do. So college basketball is a mess this year. It's all over the place. I don't know who's going to win. And besides that, Murray State at 8. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, man. It is wide open. It's been a long, long time. I can't say. That's the one thing. The one good thing about the G League is it has now made it a lot more even. Like, you don't have Kentucky stacked, Duke stacked. You do have those good-ass players, don't get me wrong. But I think it's a lot more even. And the transfer portal, I think that opened up a lot of people wanting to play right now. Anybody else? Miles, you got anything on basketball?
Yeah. 2 things. I think I agree with all the, like I said, it's going to be complete madness that there could be all kinds of teams. And of course, I'm pulling for UK. I hope, I don't care what seed they get. I hope they just pull it out of their ass and win another championship, because it's been a while and I'm getting tired of waiting. We've got a great team, but I hate to say it, Tennessee has 3 of the best wins of the country. They beat Auburn, they beat Kentucky, and they beat Arizona.
Yeah.
And then also, Murray's cooking. What, they're 28-2. They got KJ Williams averaging 18.2 points per game, 8.5 rebounds. Tevin Brown, 16.4 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 3 assists a game. I mean, Murray State's looking solid.
Tevin,
I hope they get a better seed.
But I will say, I think Tevin Brown, if he gets a chance, I think he'll make a very good role player in the NBA, man. He's 6'6",
very solid.
Let's get out of basketball, though. Let's move on. A little bit of golf. Okay, you love it. You love to hate it. Miles, you are our semi-pro golfer. What's new in the golf world?
Pebble Beach hat. We'll start off with Miguel Angel Jimenez this weekend in the Champions Tour. He has 13 hole-in-ones in his career. He's 58 years old, but this weekend he had the rare feat of on Friday. What?
No, it just blows my mind. He has 13 holes in one. What?
Oh,
nuts.
Yeah. You freaked me out. I was like, wait, am I cutting out or something? But 13 hole-in-ones on the professional
that
tour.
Somebody has 13 holes in one. Yeah. It's crazy.
On the tour, not just in his life, on tour, on record.
That's crazy.
But this week he had 2. The senior tour only has 3 rounds. They start on Friday, ends on Sunday. On Friday, in the opening round on the 7th hole, 196 yards. That was helping him in a little bit. I said he's 58 years old. He had a 6-iron from 196 yards, dribbled it up there, bounced like 3 times, rolled right in the hole in one. Skip ahead to Friday. He's already in the lead by like 3 or 4 shots. Gets on to the 14th hole, 178 yards, picks a 6-iron again, and drains it. How crazy is that?
That's one, he's hitting it farther than me, and he's 20 or 30 years older than me. And 2, that's such bullshit. I can't get, like, if I get within 3 feet of the hole, like, my dick's hard. And he's got 13 holes in one.
13, yeah. And I love how Miles just casually said that. He's got 13 holes in ones. And then I was like, whoa, what? Back up. What?
I mean,
hey, serious question though.
Guys,
if you hit a hole in one, would you steal the flag off the hole that you hit it?
100%.
100%, Miles.
If I was at a nice golf course like Sawgrass or something, for sure. At Miller, not a chance.
Anywhere. If I'm at Sully, that flag coming off and in my pocket, yanking it like Debo yanks a chain, man. Grabbing that pole and yanking it.
I didn't type in the stat, but this is going to blow your minds even more. I think the last time it happened was in 2015, but 3 times in PGA Tour history, a guy had a hole-in-one in the exact same round twice.
Insane.
How is that even possible?
Fuck him.
The odds of that happening are like 1 in 126 million. It's something crazy like that. But as I mentioned, Sawgrass, we'll move on to the preview of the Players' Championship. Not this week, but next week. And we'll run down the list right here. I've played this golf course. I played 17, hit my ball on the green the very first time. I got a video. We can upload it to the podcast, and I can show you. Didn't take 2 swings. It only took 1. My dad did it too. He hit it on their very first try. But this tournament is always littered with extremely high talent. The best players in the world always play at Sawgrass. Last year was Justin Thomas. The year before it was COVID was a winner. Before that it was Rory McIlroy, Webb Simpson, Jason Day, Ricky Fowler, Martin Keimer, Tiger Woods twice. Big-time winners in the last 6 years. But looking at the odds, these guys are playing for a purse that's around $20 million. And they're talking about this Saudi league maybe making a thing, which we decided that's canceled. But the winner this week is going to take home $3.6 million. That's more than any of the major championships. You know, they want the Masters, the U.S. Open, the PGA, or the British Open. They want all that. But this one's worth the most money. This is the 5th major on a legendary golf course with a stacked field. In the top odds, we got Patrick Cantlay playing some of the best golf in the entire world right now. He's 20-1 odds. Other than John Rahm, he's the best player in the world. You got Victor Hovland at 20-1. He's won 3 times since October. You got Colin Morikawa, which that's my pick. I love Colin Morikawa. He's the best iron player since Tiger when he was in his prime. He does crazy stuff, but he's had a rough start to start this year.
Cal Bear.
Or then you go,
He's a Cal Bear. He went to Cal.
Oh, yeah. John Rahm did?
No. Colin Moore.
Oh, Colin Morikawa. Hell yeah, there you go.
Power 5 Insider.
Then we got Power 5 Insider. Then, like I just said, we can run into like the Justin Thomas. He's a stud. He's 14-1. You got McIlroy 16-1. I love McIlroy. If he plays his A+ game, nobody is better than Rory McIlroy. Nobody playing right now. If they play their A+ versus his A+, nobody's beating him. But then you go to John Rahm, the world number 1. He's 10-1 to win this. He's only shot over par 1 time in a tournament in the last 7 months, and that was last week. He shot 1 over. But what's crazy is that's impressive. That's impressive. Back between a stretch of May 11th, 2000 and January of 2001, Tiger Woods played 52 rounds of golf without shooting over par. That's 13 golf tournaments.
That's why he's the GOAT.
Never shot over par at all.
That's why he's the GOAT.
But it's a big deal that John Rahm did it 7 months. He shot over par 1 time. Tiger did it for almost a whole year. I mean,
there's different levels to this. Yeah, that's why Tiger's just the GOAT. But
so who are y'all picking for those who win the Players?
Is Koepka in it?
Of course he's playing it. Of course.
Koepka, baby.
Well, as you know, a little small flex, but it's 20 minutes down the road here, so I'll be there in person watching it. I'll send you guys some videos, but I'm riding with John. I'm riding with Rahm, man. Rahm is my dude. He's like John Rahm reminds me of like one of us just got really good at golf all of a sudden, and then just went on the PGA tour and we just like tore it up. Like that's who he reminds me of. He's just a dude's dude, man. I'm all about him. I'm riding with him.
I'll see him in a few years.
Hey, yes.
So
hell yeah, baby. I'm going Colin too. He's a Cal Bear, dog. You know, I got to stick with the Bears.
Cal Bear. All right.
Aaron Rodgers.
No, he went to Brute.
Yeah, he went to Brute for what, 2 years? And then Cal?
Yeah.
He don't claim that shit.
He really don't.
Last chance you.
Talking about colleges, let's go to college football. Okay.
Uh-oh.
You, man. This might be this guy's only opportunity to get back in the game. he may be the only person who I have a better chance of getting a coaching job than. All right. Art Briles. Mario, tell me about his new almost gig.
Yeah, I mean, man, he was what Grambling State for what 4 days?
So
Shit. Something like that. It's, I mean, shit, when you have that kind of, track record, he's got a rap sheet, man. I get that Grambling State wants to, help him, get back, on his feet, and bring back the coach that he once was. But shit, when you got sexual abuse charges on your record, or what is that's what it is, right?
See, I'm
Sexual misconduct or something.
Like, don't get me wrong, like, I love it. I think he should get another shot, like, because apparently he knew about something at one time, a girl, and he didn't handle it correctly, which I get it. Like, there's things you got to do better, but he ain't the fucking cops. He ain't the president of the university. He isn't that girl's teacher. Like, he should have reported it. Don't get me wrong, but it shouldn't end his entire career. But sorry, get on my pedestal. Yeah, I'm not saying he's a good person, but he's a hell of a ball coach. Go ahead.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, he's a hell of a ball coach. That's the thing. The shitty part about it is now is that it don't matter if you're a hell of a ball coach anymore. That shit don't look right anymore. And coaches or universities are going to condone that anymore. Where versus back in the day when we were children, they let it blink an eye and let it go away. They just don't do that anymore and shit. I mean, I kind of was hoping Grambling State he would have stayed and they would have proved him wrong and let him prove himself better, that he's a better man. But I mean, he even knew that it's just not going to work out. That's why he resigned. And I get that. It's like there's no point even trying to fight that shit with how much backlash they were getting off the first couple of days that they were going to try to hire him. So I get it. He made the right decision for the team, because that just been nothing but a distraction. So.
And, I completely agree, but I think a lot of it's kind of like the Ray Rice thing. I bet you they would let him coach high school because they let Ray Rice coach high school kids, but they won't let him play in the NFL. Like,
ass backwards.
That's crazy.
He should go get demolished by 300-pounders and not teach the youth, but it's paid a lot of money doing one and not a lot in the other. So, either way, I think this is just another prime example, though, of the good old boy system, of the reason people have issues, the reason why people say it's a racial thing, the same reason I'm not getting a freaking call. It's all about who you know, who your buddy knows, and who you works with. And Art, he's still getting calls, even though, like, the Canadian League, he's done like 3 different leagues, stuff like that, and
he was out in like Italy for a period of time.
Yeah, and he's a good coach, but you got to know somebody else. But talking about coaches, the NFL, man, where coaching changes happen, like it's just a carousel. So I'm going to go through all 9 of the new NFL coaches. All right, we're going to I'm going to give their background, where they were at. And then I just want us to kind of discuss the positives and negatives of each situation, I think. And then at the end, let's go ahead and pick who we think is going to be most successful. But we'll start it off. The first coach, Kevin O'Connell. Okay, he was the Rams OC. Before that, he was Washington's OC. So he's been in the McVay, Shanahan, LaFleur tree. He's 36. You have a Vikings team that has a lot of needs, I think. You've got a Kirk Cousins who's a good quarterback. He's going to have some wow games. He's going to have some bad games, but he's not going to be the worst player ever. At any point, he's not going to be the worst player on the field. You got some good defensive players. I think you got to rebuild your whole defense. You got Dalvin Cook, who's your whole offense, and then you got Jefferson, who can take the top off. So I think there's a good young core there, but there's a lot of money tied up. Anybody, what's your take on O'Connell?
Right. I hope the best for him. I know the Vikings have a lot they need to fix, but I mean, if he was the OC for the Rams, I mean, at least that means he has some kind of offensive concepts to make that Dalvin Cook situation and maybe Cousins. I don't know about Cousins, but make that work a little bit.
they're going from a heavily defensive based team because Zimmer was a defensive coordinator before.
Yep.
Now
From the Bengals.
based offensive team, so it's going to be a complete switch up for them. Those players have to adapt.
Exactly. It's an offensive league, so I believe you got to have offensive coach to really win these days. Just be honest. I mean, let's be honest, man. I mean, Madison backing up Dalvin Cook, man, he's a stud too. He'd be a starter on half the teams in the league, man. So I think they should really look at running the ball a lot and focus on that. Yeah. But I mean, part of the McVay tree, so we'll see.
Man, they will. They'll get in those tight ends. They'll do their shifts, their motions, and they're going to run the ball and then play action, which suits Kirk Cousins, which suits Dalvin Cook, suits the NFL's new fancy. So I think it's a good hire. The only knack I think is he hadn't been the OC very long, the McVay tree's rolling fast, it loses branches, so you really have 1 year to prove yourself, and they're going off that. But the next coach, the Chicago Bears, take Matt Eberflus. I think Eberflus. It's a hard name. I'm sorry, I'm not a name person. He was the DC for the Colts. This hire, I'm not a big fan of it. Not that himself, I think he's a great coach. The Colts got a lot of turnovers. They had a really strong defense, especially for not having the best defensive players on the field. So I think he's a great ball coach. But the Bears have Justin Fields, who they need to develop, who is a raw weapon who can do so many things. It's like a Trey Lance. It's like those quarterbacks who can do a little bit of everything, and you've just got to put them in the right system. Lamar Jackson wouldn't be the same if he wasn't in their system. And I think that's a big miss for the Bears. Not, like I said, he may be a hell of a coach and he may bring in some offensive help, to help, he may bring in the offensive help to do that part of the job. But to me, I don't like this one just because of the fit. ZA, you're shaking your head. What are you going to say?
No, I completely agree. I think it's a huge miss. I think it's in the Bears' DNA. It's like something about them, man. They're just like, we got to have a defense coach, man. It's got to have the defense. Got to have defense. It's like, no, you got a stud rookie quarterback. You need to get developed. You need to get offense going. And yeah, I think it's a huge swing and a miss, man. I agree with you 100%.
Anybody, Miles?
Yeah, I mean, he has no previous head coaching record, and you're just going to jump on the fact that the Colts had a good defense this year and make him your head coach. So it's kind of, I don't know. They kind of jumped early, I think.
Pistachio, anything?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is he has no previous record of being a head coach, so
everybody grabbing him hot, man. I think it's just the thing. It's the McVay effect. But,
it is, man. Yeah, 100%.
So either though, not saying that he's not that young. He's 51, but he had a few good years, and they want to grab that. Not age young, but just new coaching wise. The next coach, the Giants, Brian DeBoer. Belichick, make sure you check who you're texting. And he was the OC for the Bills. Okay, before that, he's the OC for Nick Saban. Before that, he's the tight ends coach for Belichick in New England. So he hadn't had the head coaching experience, but I think he is a great hire because he has came from a great tree. He's watched the best in the business do it over his career. And then when he did get his chance in Buffalo, he did a hell of a job with what he had. Josh Allen added in the quarterback run, added in those big shots, developed him over time because, like we talked about in one of our episodes, he was not very good his rookie year. And now we look at him as one of the top 5 quarterbacks, I'd say, in the NFL. I think this is a good hire. He's 46, so not that young, not that old, but been around the block a few times. Anybody, what you say about DeBoer?
That is a decent hire.
I like it. I like it. I mean, he did well with the Bills. So I mean, if he can develop that offense, keep it going, I mean, what a better place to be than New York.
True that.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're going to give anybody a chance, it's somebody like him that you've seen develop a quarterback already. You've seen develop an offense. I mean, it's something like that you want to give a chance to, you know. So I'd be very excited to see what we can do in New York.
And New York's got the weapons, man. You've got Saquon, you've got Galladay, you've got Daniel Jones, who
Danny Dimes
makes some bonehead plays, but man, he is one of the most underrated athletes in the NFL, man.
Give him a coach.
He just looks goofy. But
just like Josh Allen. Just like Josh Allen was.
Josh Allen don't look that goofy, and Josh Allen has 30 pounds on him, but still. But the next coach, Nathaniel Hackett, the Denver Broncos head coach, 42 years old. Aaron Rodgers, OC. Before that, he was the Jaguars OC. I'm not huge on this one. Like, don't get me wrong. You have a good offensive background of statistics, but you had Aaron Rodgers. Like, did we not learn with Adam Gase and Peyton Manning? Like, they make them look really good. Like, and I could be wrong. He could hit it out of the park, but for the Broncos, they need somebody to develop a quarterback. He's a quarterback coach. I see the fit. ZA?
Man, I think you're missing the bigger picture here, man, and that's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I really think they got him there because I think Aaron's going to be coming there, and with Aaron there, you're basically getting the keys to a Lamborghini with that offense. I mean, it's just don't wreck it, baby. So if that's true and Aaron gets there, I think it's a great hire. If not, I'm not a big fan, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I have a take.
I didn't even think about that, to be honest with you. I watched them talking, people was talking about that and Nathaniel Hackett, but I just didn't, until you just said that. When I was reading it, at least I didn't take it. Miles, what's your take?
Aaron Rodgers has turned into a super hippie these last couple of years. He's got a ponytail. He's getting gray hairs. He's getting a beard. We know he's getting high. The best place to go for that, other than California, is Colorado. So you know exactly where he's going. He's getting that altitude. He's going to get that extra high. I'm telling you, Aaron Rodgers is pulling the super hippie move. He's going out to Colorado. He's getting a new hot girlfriend. It's over.
Yes, I agree. Yes,
that's the truth. I'm just saying. That's
Pistachio. Any take on Hackett?
I think it's a good hire. I kind of do want to see Aaron Rodgers out there. It'd be kind of cool.
I forgot about the coach.
I will say, yeah. Next hire, Dennis Allen, in-house hire for the New Orleans Saints, was their defensive coordinator. Sean Payton kind of throws the curveball, retires pretty early. Steps away. Dennis Allen, though, this is his second time as a head coach. The first time with the Raiders did not go over very well. The good old boy system getting another chance. I'm not mad about it. He had a really good defense. The Saints have kind of held their hard hat on their defense, even at the end of Drew Brees' tenure, I think. And, he deserves it, I think, just because he worked his way back in-house hire. People like him. I like that one. Miles, ZA, Pistachio, what you think about this?
I like it, like you said, in-house, and because he did work his way up there. But like you said a while ago, his record with the Raiders was 8-28, which is terrible. So that's just another thing to note. But yeah, it's a happy hire. We'll keep it happy. We have a good defense. The defense coordinator is obviously the guy running the defense. So let's let him run the team.
Anything else?
This is a bridge hire. It's all it is. It's to keep the players happy. They got a good defense. He's a players coach. Keep the players happy. He's not going to be there long term. It's not going to happen. It's going to be, we'll see. And I'll tell you what, the coach is the least the Saints worries, but we'll go on from that.
Terrible job to take on. what is it, 100 and like or 70 million over salary cap and didn't make the playoffs. Yeah, not a good situation. Maybe it had to be in-house to get that. I don't know.
They could have hired a high school coach. JB.
I took it for half the money. Talking about coaches,
though. What the hell are you talking about?
Talking about coaches getting the shaft. Doug Peterson, the Jaguars' new head coach. He 54 years old. You know, he wins the Eagles a Super Bowl. Injuries knock him off. He never really gets another chance. I think the Eagles really did him dirty, used him as a scapegoat. I'm happy he got this job. He's got a good young quarterback to develop. He's got some possibilities. I like this hire. Anybody got anything else?
I'm thinking.
Put on my new neck piece here. So, as a Jacksonville native, this is I wanted from day one. Oh my God, the city is alive. We are thriving down here. We are so excited. T-Law about to crush it. Oh my God, we cannot wait. We're going to Super Bowl, baby. Jaguars.
All right, well, yeah, as funny as that was, yeah, I'm kind of 50-50 on this hire because, yeah, like you said, Doug Peterson kind of did get fucked up there in Philly, and his record was 42-37, and he said they got the Super Bowl out of it, but I mean, hell, everything went the opposite of the way you would want it to go as a head coach. Like nothing ever worked out for him after the Super Bowl. It was just terrible. Yeah. And then now he's going to the Jags. Sorry, ZA, but he's going to the Jags, which is just dysfunctional and shitty and horrible anyway. And they're always they can get first round picks all the time and still suck. Like it's incredible. But
if anything, he deserves it. He gets to live on the beach and make some money.
Yeah,
so I would
awesome.
definitely.
I didn't say the place sucked. I said the team sucks.
So
the place is awesome.
Talking about the beach, though, we're just gonna move a little bit south. All right, and we got the Miami Dolphins.
Wait a minute. What were we talking? That's what I was about to say. Wait a minute. Isn't there a real Dolphins fan in here, not a Jacksonville fan? I was curious.
Fan taking my Mike McDaniels, my logic looking coach. I told ZA I like this hire. You have a team that has a good defense. You have an explosive weapon if you get him the ball and let him run. You have a shitty quarterback that you need to protect and hide. So who has a good defense, has a weapon who they like to get yards after catch, and has a shitty quarterback who they've had to hide for 4 years? Fucking the 49ers. Let's go get their OC and let's hide Tua just like we hid Jimmy G and throw it to Jalen Waddle just like they did Deebo Samuel and let our defense play well. And it's a young hire. It's a sexy hire. It's a diverse hire. And everyone's going to love it. And I like this pick. I think it goes not only with the culture, not only with the team fit, but with the coach in general and the opportunity.
Before ZA talks, because I know he loves this, I love this too, because even with Flores, I thought there for a little bit, holy shit, Miami's going to be legit. What, they beat the Patriots twice last year? Was it once last year, twice in the last? Yeah, okay. So, come on. That's your competition. If Miami can beat the Pats, they win that division, they make the playoffs, Miami makes a run.
You still got the Bills.
You forgot about the Bills.
I'm not worried about the Bills. The Bills will fall apart as the Bills normally do. You saw it happen this year. Miami probably will too, but if they have a solid coach, Miami might work their way up to prominence. I mean, back up to prominence. What do you think?
Hey, man, the AFC East is just still in the Niners coaches, baby. Bring them all on. That's all we do over here.
Oh, shit.
But, yeah, no, I'm super excited. Mike who? No, I'm just kidding. If you
I'm
watch the
excited.
press, you know what I'm talking about. But
Joe.
I mean, from what I heard, he's like a player. He's a player's coach. I think he's gonna be accepted in Miami. And from what I've heard, he's like a guru. Like he's like the smartest guy in the room everywhere he goes. Like can answer any questions. Like supposed to be like Sean McVay smart. And
The
like I agree
players
with
are
you,
gonna
JP.
love him.
Yeah, yeah. Tua is horrible. I hate it. So it's my quarterback though. It's my quarterback. But he's got to be able to run the ball and really help him out. And I really don't think it's gonna make it better out there than Mike McDaniel's scheme. So let's bring it on, baby. Another year, another dollar. Let's go. Fins up,
You
baby.
got lucky, ZA. I promise. This is gonna be good for you.
We've got two more guys. First, we've got the Texans. They end up going with 63-year-old Lovie Smith. Okay, this guy was another in-house hire. Before that, he was the Illinois Fighting Illini head coach. Before that, he was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coach, and then the Bears head coach. Again, this is my buddy. He did it before. Let's give him another chance. I think this is just another, this is another short bridge hire like ZA was talking about. I don't think he'll be there long. Not only, I know he's a good coach, but he's an older coach. The Texans are a mess. It's going to take another 3 years for them to even get out of the hell that Bill O'Brien left them in, I think. But let Lovie Smith have it. If he succeeds, he's exceeded expectations. If he fails, that's kind of what you're going to get, I think, with the Texans for the next 2-3 years.
He coached Smoking Jay Cutler. I mean, that was cool.
That's all you got to say.
Good luck, Lovey. I know. Smoking Jay. Good luck, Lovey.
So the last coach, Josh McDaniels, hired by the Las Vegas Raiders, 45 years old, second or third head coaching job. I don't know how you want to look at the Colts job a few years ago, but I'm not mad about this hire here. I think McDaniels had a chance to grow up. He did have his Tebow Broncos phase, which hats off to him because he did what no one else would do. He changed his whole system for Tebow, and that's why it worked. That's why they got in the playoffs, and then you see Tebow fall off everywhere else because he's in an NFL system. Kind of what the Ravens did with Lamar Jackson, completely changed their system. But either way, he's watched Belichick. He's had one go at it, and it didn't work. New stadium. You're in Vegas. I'm not mad about it. I think he can do some things with Derek Carr that can be successful.
Yep. For the team that they have, this, I think, is up there with maybe the best hire that happened this offseason. The offense was already good. Yeah, everything was good. And they lost Gruden for, his crimes. And he resurrected that franchise twice. There were nothing when he started with them. When he came back this most recent time, there were nothing. He built them back up. He made the crazy trade and got rid of Khalil Mack and, blah, 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 blah. Got rid of all that. Built the team back up. And now what are they?
To fall back off.
Pretty good. They made the playoff without him. I mean,
yeah. And without the 2 first-round picks.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But
they could still be good, and Josh McDaniels could make Derek Carr good.
I think so too. So, guys, we went through all 9. Who is your best hire and who is the worst hire? Who wants to go first?
I mean, I'll jump in there. I mean, Mike McDaniel, number 1, baby, taking us to the Super Bowl. Of course, that's my favorite hire. I think he's a. I mean, like I said, I think his scheme is going to work out great in Miami. I mean, gosh, I can't wait. Worst hire. I mean, I honestly think that Lovie Smith was the only one that would take the job in Texas. I don't know if I'm just saying, like I don't know how many people actually want that job.
I tried.
That guy over there.
I tried.
He applied.
I wrote a nice letter. I said, "Sir, I know you're awful, but I will try very hard." I'm still here. Pistachio, what's the best and the worst hire?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the worst, and I don't want to say Lovie Smith was the worst, but I also agree that I don't think anybody wanted to take that job. So I'm gonna say it's the worst, but like no one wanted that fucking job. So
it's the worst situation.
Yeah. Best hire I honestly think is Josh McDaniels with the Raiders, man. You know, he was the first he was like that first young coach, that young era, you know, for guys to go get young coaches, you know, and he failed, but you know, he's back again. He's like you said, he grew up. So I think he's gonna do some big things with the Raiders and make Derek Carr a better quarterback than he already is.
Miles.
Best hire, Josh McDaniels. Like I said a while ago, I think he's going to do special things with this team. He's going to resurrect the team as a la John Gruden, but he's going to make Derek Carr do something. And the worst hire, I mean, it's really kind of hard to pick, but I agree with the Lovie Smith thing. But I'm going to go the Matt Eberflus with the Bears. They're going defense. Got a defensive coordinator as the head coach. I think that's the wrong way to go in the new NFL. Like, you can't get a defensive coordinator and be like, oh, we're going to build our team around that. No, it's stupid. You need the offensive guys. Like,
you know, I'm gonna agree with you. I think Matt is the worst hire, Eberflus. Not again, he's a great coach. I just think it's the worst fit. And again, maybe he does great things. I just think to make Justin Fields reach his potential, you should have brought in someone like a Josh McDaniels, a Mike McDaniels, someone on that offensive side to take your first round pick, your investment, and make you go to the next level. But that's my worst, and I'm really torn between the Mike McDaniel and the Brian DeBoer. I think McDaniel has success early, a lot earlier than DeBoer, just because of the situation they're in. But I also like Brian DeBoer's hire. I think that I think they trade away Saquon. Not because he's a bad player. He's injury prone. I think you can at least get a second round pick out of him. Depending on who the team is, you may get a late first. Probably not, though. But you get some picks. You take away that salary. You have Daniel Jones for one more year. It's a weak draft class. You give him one more chance with a better coach who can do things. And you take a pretty decent or okay defense for being in the shitty situation their offense put them in. And if their offense can expand, you only got the Cowboys. I think they could really compete in the NFC East, especially because they're in a weak division. So that's going to be my best hire. But it was really hard between the McDaniels, I'd say. But that is it, boys, for our show tonight. Got a weird look there.
You know, I got a surprise topic for you, Pistachio, now. So I'm gonna make it quick. But we have had Joe Montana and Steve Young come out and say that Trey Lance isn't ready. He can't play. What's y'all say?
Oh, here we go.
I did read it. I will say, I don't know. If he was ready, he would have been playing, I think, in the playoffs. If he was ready right now. But you got to think the offense is going to really change. I think the play calling is going to be completely different just because of the weapons you have. I think that's going to be catered more towards Trey Lance. So you give him 6 months, you give him an offense catered to him, you give play calling to him. I think he'll be okay. Again, I'm not expecting Trey Lance to come out of the gate and be Joe Montana or to come out of the gate and be freaking Patrick Mahomes. But I do think in this season, I think when he plays his best, it's going to be better than Jimmy G's best. When his worst may be worse than Jimmy G's, but I think his potential is a lot larger. So is he ready at this moment? No. Is he ready to be in a West Coast offense like Joe Montana played? No. Will he be ready in 6 months and an offense fit for him? I think so. I hope so.
I agree. I don't think he's ready either. Like Jordan said, if he was ready, he'd have played a little bit in the playoffs, but he didn't. I think he needs to. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love JG, but I don't think it's good for him to sit behind JG. I think he needs to sit behind somebody like Tom. But like, obviously, it's not going to happen. So he learns. The only way he's going to learn is if they throw him out there and he starts playing and learn from that way.
I will say.
Did nobody talk about Jimmy G's shoulder surgery?
Yeah, he's having shoulder, but they say everything should be a go. There's going to be no issues in the trade because apparently it's just a common surgery.
Okay,
but
they say that.
The good thing is he's not sitting behind someone like Aaron Rodgers, who is still kind of the weirdo. He does have Jimmy G and him has a good relationship.
Yeah.
Maybe
he's getting high and going to Denver.
Stuff. What?
I said he's getting high and going to Denver. Where do you think he's going?
Yeah, could you imagine?
Nobody cares about following that guy.
Could you imagine Jordan Love? Hey, Aaron, I got a question about the playbook. What? Who is this?
You don't remember Red 35, 47, 85 hut yet? Yeah, I remember that one. Just throw it to fucking Devontae Adams.
The worm, I love it.
Either way. All right, we got to get back on. Does that answer your question, ZA, on our Jimmy G?
Yeah, man.
All right, so
he loves Jimmy G.
I still like Jimmy. I think he'll be successful if he goes to the right system. I just think he's topped out what he could do in San Francisco. But either way, guys, either way, it's been fun. All right, I'll see y'all next week. I love you. Pros out.
Hey.
Later.